Hello and welcome to a quick video about solving inequalities. Now the really good news here is that we can use exactly the same skills as we use for solving equations. So if I wanted to solve this, x plus 3 is less than 10, I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides first to get x is less than 7. I could of course also show that on a number line if I needed to. Remember, when it's less than, it's not coloured in circle, and my arrow is going to be going to the left. Here I'll add 2 to both sides to get 5x is greater than or equal to 14, then divide both sides by 5 to get x is greater than or equal to 14 over 5. If I needed to simplify that, I'd have x is greater than or equal to 2.8. Remember what I've told you before. We're going to look for something that affects the whole left-hand side. And if there's not anything that affects the whole left-hand side, we'll think about backwards bidmass. So 5x over 3 minus 6 is less than 11. That divided by is not affecting everything. The first thing I'll do is add 6 to get 5x over 3 is less than or equal to 17. Then I want to multiply by 3 because that divide is now affecting the whole left-hand side. So I'll get 5x is less than or equal to 51. Then divide by 5 to get x is less than or equal to 10.2. This question, even though it's got all the same numbers, is very slightly different because the divide by is now affecting the whole left-hand side. That means I have to multiply by 3 first. So I get 5x minus 6 is less than or equal to 33. And the reason I'm doing that, as I say, is the whole left-hand side is affected by that divide by 3. Now we'll go on to backwards bidmass. So I'll add 6 to get 5x is less than or equal to 39. So x is less than or equal to 7.8 when I divide everything by 5. There are a couple of things to be careful of. You do not want to multiply or divide by a minus number if you can get away with it. If you do multiply or divide by a minus number, you have to change the sign round. But rather than doing that, I always think it's best to just avoid negative multiplication and division. So the first thing I'm going to do here is add 2x to both sides. So 3 is less than or equal to 5 plus 2x. And note now that there's no negative x anywhere. Negative numbers don't matter, it's the negative x that we don't want. I'm going to minus 5 to get minus 2 is greater than 2x. And divide by 2 to get minus 1 is greater than x. Now sometimes in an exam question, for example, it'll ask you to start with x. Minus 1 is greater than x is exactly the same as x is less than minus 1. All I've done is written things in the other order. The bigger side is still next to the bigger number. So here we'll try another one. I'm going to multiply it by 10 first because it's affecting the whole left hand side. So 6 minus 4x is less than or equal to 110. I'm going to add 4x to get rid of that negative. Minus 100, so I get minus 94 is less than or equal to 4x, which is going to leave me with minus 23.5 is less than or equal to x. We also need to be careful with quadratics. Of course, I start by minusing 4 here, so x squared is greater than or equal to 9. And then I want to square root, but my problem is now, when I square root 9, I get minus 3 or 3, so there are 2 possible answers. So what we can do is just draw ourselves a very, very quick graph. I'm looking for x squared being greater than or equal to 9. So an x squared curve looks something like that. There's 9. I want the places where it's bigger. So I'm going to be thinking about these areas here. So if that's minus 3, and that's 3, the bit where it's bigger than 9, x is less than or equal to minus 3, or x is greater than or equal to 3. And the reason I say for that is that's the x values on my graph where I'm above that 9. Let's have a look at another example. So 2x squared is minus 11 is less than 189, so 2x squared is less than 200. x squared is less than 100. So I need to find the square roots. So I want x squared being less than 100. There's my quick sketch. There's 100. I want this bit in here. So minus 10 is less than x is less than 10. I hope that helps. Thanks very much.